Cool. What did we think of this? Was it funnier?
I don't know if
Yeah,
it
it
was
was
funnier, but I liked it better.
Yeah.
funny moments, like maybe one or two.
I think it was the thing that maybe I didn't like so much previously was that we started in the present, and then we went so much in the past that I'm like, are we ever gonna come back? And I'm glad that we did, and I think that's what kind of tied it in for me. And I was like, okay, you know what, it's not that bad of a story. Like, I see why you brought up all that before. It just seemed like it was getting lost. So I'm like, hello? Where am I?
And it was like so depressing at first, and now it's like slightly better because like she's getting success and Walter's on her side.
Yeah, I think Walter's my favorite character. I like him. I
Do you
like
guys feel
him
like
and Elizabeth. Like they have a nice dynamic that's like fun to listen to and not annoying, unlike
I
some of the
al
other characters.
Yeah, I also feel like so this part I try to listen more than actually read, which I still prefer to read it, but listening to it I think gave me a different perspective of like the people talking. Because reading it, I'm just like, oh, okay, this is happening, this is happening. But the audiobook actually gives you like, I don't know, dialogue, even though necessarily it's not very defined on like on the book. I don't know. I feel like it's more confusing to just read it and be like, oh
Mm.
shoot, someone else was talking. And the audiobook, obviously, they changed the voices or whatever. I was like, oh, or like they gave you a different tone, and I'm not reading that tone.
Mm. Yeah, sometimes I feel like the audiobook can help if it's
Mm-hmm.
like dense or hard to understand. You know, some other times it gets actually like more confusing on the audiobook, but I don't think this is one of them. Like I think the narrator's voice is perfect because she has a slightly annoying voice, but it like works for the character because the character is annoying, you know. Like Mad and Elizabeth are both like, I know Mad's only a child, but I think she annoys me more than Elizabeth. She's pretty annoying.
I I like the kid better in the book than in the
Mm,
audiobook. And I think it's the voice. And I'm like,
mm.
I don't know about this one. There was
I think I'll go ahead, Julie. Were you talking?
No.
what part were we?
I liked the TV show setting. I think it was more interesting than some of the other parts of the book because it's like interesting hearing her how she does the show and like her interactions with different people that are in the production team and all that, and like the big boss. Like, I don't know, I think it's just like it's still kind of cliche, but it's more interesting to me than just like the cliche, like, you know, women not having rights in the 60s thing that we were getting in the science lab, which just like
Mhm.
everyone, I think it was also because like everyone was like such a caricature villain at that place that it was like
Mhm.
kind of ridiculous. Whereas in the TV, like, you know, she has like her makeup artist and then she has Walter, right? She has like actual people that are like acting more like humans and not just like one note villains. So I think that makes it interesting too. Cause we're not just like, I don't know, I just feel like some of these characters are being written like so stereotypically.
Mhm.
Just I don't know.
Like they're just so mean, and it's just like very like, and I get it. I think it could be very like cutthroat, like the fact that they stole her stuff, and they're like, oh, they were only able to kind of succeed as scientists because Calvin and she left. I mean, Calvin died, but she left. So I feel like it's very like competitive, and I think that's why they just come off as like mean girl vibes a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sure that, like that this kind of stuff happened, but I guess I feel like it's not being written with any nuance, and that's why it like in the previous parts of the book wasn't as like interesting. It's just like, okay, yeah, they hate her.
Yeah.
Like there's not
Yeah.
there was nothing to them. They weren't like they didn't feel like real people. They
Mm-mm.
just felt like caricatures of that time period. Um I think like have one villain that's like that. Like the head of the TV studio. He was just like a really awful person
Yeah.
and like but then they have like everyone be like other people be like purely evil in the book like wherever she's encountering them and I just think that's kind of like not very interesting. Like everyone's evil and she's the only one who knows anything and isn't like a bigot. Like I don't know. I think it could be everyone's just like very cartoonish. And I think that should be used like not like with every single character, or else it just comes off kind of preachy and obnoxious and not very interesting.
I also like the tie-in of what's his name? Calvin is the one that died? No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Who was the other guy? Not
His
Walter.
pen pal, the minister.
Yeah. What's his name? Do we get his name? We do, right?
I think we did, but I don't remember.
Wyatt or something?
It's
Wyatt
like with the
Williams?
C. The last name was like Clary. Clary.
Well, that guy. I thought it was
Yeah.
interesting because he was in the beginning, and in the beginning, I thought it was a dad. Then they bring him up again, and then you're like, oh, it's the pen pal. And now the fact that he's encountering um Mad, it's like what? Like full circle. And he's like, oh yeah, I was actually there. And I don't know, I feel like what was I saying? Have you guys watched is it Ginny and Georgia?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it gave me that vibe of like, how was it Joe? He was in the past and then he was there and Georgia was like, oh, she showed up in this town because of like that like small little connection and the fact that Calvin showed up at Commons, California because of that connection with that pen pal. We're like, oh, you should come and visit. And then he ended up there. I don't know. I'm like, that's I don't know. Interesting.
Maybe he didn't
Yeah.
have anywhere else to go. It's like Ginny had nowhere else to go, so she kind of thought back to like the one person she had a connection with.
Yeah, but it's just like when you think about it in real life, I'm like, that's a very, I guess they did talk here and there, but it was very like, I mean, that's how you make friends. You can from strangers to friends, but it just seems very minimal, very like, wow,
It didn't take a lot for him
stranger.
to do that
Yeah,
here.
it's a stranger to just be like, oh, you like a water
That's
sport?
my-
I like a water sport. Oh, you're kind of in like the same university, like near me. Oh, awesome. You go here. You like this place. You recommended it. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna live there. And now I'm surrounded, like he got paid less in the place he was working at. And he went there because of, I think, that little connection. So
Yeah, but then it's so
fascinating.
strange he didn't like contact him or anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know
And
how
then
I
he
kind of like view these characters? Did you guys ever watch The Big Bang Theory?
Yes.
No.
Like Sheldon. Like Sheldon's personality, kind of where he's just like super short because he's like so smart and he's not very good on like social cues.
Yeah.
But everyone's always mean to him, but like he doesn't notice it.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I see them. Like maybe they're kind of just like because they've always been so like focused in their work that they don't really pay attention to like social cues, that they don't really understand when someone's being like rude or whatever. And maybe that's why they paint like so many characters as like this like evil person, right? Because it's like, oh, they're I don't know, people are just mean. I don't know. That's kind of just like how I viewed it.
It makes me wonder if she and Mad both have like Asperger's or something.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Because the way that they act, like they're geniuses, but they also like have trouble following social cues and like they seem to also be pretty introverted.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
But I guess I don't know if back then that they like Julie, is that a recent is that a recent thing? Like knowing about that? Like did they know about that in the 60s? I doubt it.
But what?
Asperger's, like was that something in the 60s that like people knew about?
Oh, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah.
So
Probably
maybe
not.
people just like labeled them as like odd or weird. You know what I mean?
I mean, she did say, she's like, oh, what if Mad ended up with our bad genes? And then Harriet is funny. She's like, the what? The I don't like people gene? It's like, I mean,
Maybe that's why she didn't want children. Like Sheldon never wanted to get married, like have like a relationship because he didn't know. He didn't know better. Like he didn't know what feelings were or like until of course someone else came along.
I haven't finished that one, but I can
No,
see that. No, it's okay.
Yeah, I
I
just
just,
think she wanted to be focused on her work. Like that was the most important thing to her.
mhm.
And she never even thought that she would, be in a romantic relationship with someone. It like took her aback.
Yeah.
So it was never like her plan. Her plan was always to just like work on chemistry and be famous. And she had a really bad family life. So she probably like didn't see like how that would ever be the case for her. But the interesting thing is that she's able to like connect with all of these housewives or mothers that are watching the show because she like is actually valuing like their skills and their time, even though like she's like super different from them. Like she's doing something that, I mean, I don't know, I feel like back then there were like probably cooking shows, but obviously not like this one, and not necessarily like being like moms do like more work than anyone else. Like I don't know if they like that was probably like really refreshing to hear. And I don't know, I just I like that. I like this part of the book better just because I don't know, she has more friends. Like
Mhm.
she seems like she's sort of like she's being firm, but she's also like not being ridiculous as much. She seems a little bit more self-aware. Um, so I like where it's going, although I mean the atheism thing is going to cancel a show, right? Like I don't know how they're going to recover from that. Back then, that was a huge deal to say something like that. So I don't think that's going to help.
What do you guys think? Because when I found his name, it's Wakely. When Wakely is with Mad, they like whisper something to each other. And then like Madeline was like, that's not bad. What do you think she told
Oh yeah,
him?
they didn't tell us, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's curious. I like how they put that in. It was
Yeah,
cute.
that part I was like, oh, I'm just like, damn it. Especially because Wakely is like in every, like every little section at least. Now we know he's there, but before we didn't. And then Madeline is just like the fact that she can tell that her mom is sad. She can tell that, I think she said Harriet has never been in love, or, the doctor is done with vagina. Like the thing, like having a sixth sense or something of what's going on. I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. It also gave me vibes, which I don't think is gonna happen. But what if who killed Calvin?
The
Was it
police.
the cops? Right, okay, that's what I thought. But as I was rereading the part that's like, oh, that's not so bad, Wakely, I was like, oh, what if Wakely, he's been in all these little tiny instances, because what if he somehow caused that accident and now he feels bad and he's like, oh, let me show up. But I don't think that's possible. I don't think that's gonna happen. It'd be insane. But
Plot twist.
no.
Yeah, this book doesn't like I feel like the plot twist of this book was Calvin dying. And I don't think they're gonna have
That
another
was so
twist.
early on
Yeah.
too.
Because it made it seem like like the description kind of made it sound like a romance, but really their
Yeah.
romance is just like at the very beginning, and then he dies,
Mhm.
and then the rest is about like her life and feminism and women in the workplace and stuff like that.
Yeah, and now they're taking over because what's his name? That Nene had a heart attack or something? Heart attack? Stroke?
Mm.
I don't remember his name, but the
I wonder if his
studio.
Yeah, that
was
one guy.
out.
Phil.
Because it's
Phil.
like, didn't he unbuckle his pants? Like his parts were out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, was he
That's- she
passed
pulled
out
out
like
the
that on the
knife.
floor?
I was really hoping that she would be able to get through to him, but then he was just like, again, a like one note, terrible human being.
Mhm.
But again, then we get, at least now we get counterparts like, oh, wait, you know what else really bothered me is like, okay, again, like with these cartoon villains, the teacher is like such a bitch, and she's like making them do all this stuff like to spread rumors, and I'm just like, why is everyone in this book like a
Mean.
like a
Mean.
mean, awful, like terrible person? Like, I just don't think people are like this. Like, not everyone. Like, some people just are ignorant. Not everybody is like an active villain, you know? I don't know. I just don't like that aspect of the book. I don't like that there's so many cartoon villains and like she has to, you know, set them straight. I just think people are more interesting than that, and I don't love that whole caricature that's happening with a lot of the character.
I feel like it could go with that whole what we were saying, I think in the last meeting, where she's gonna be the hero in the end, and wow, look at her. I don't know.
Yeah, basically the minister is gonna like find the benefactor who is gonna be family in some way, and then he'll help them, and then she'll get her TV show back, and then the one thing I wondered actually is like, I wonder if they're gonna get her together with Walter in the end, because he kept saying how she's like his best friend.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see, or they'll leave her single, but like I think if they were going to get her with someone, it would maybe be him.
Especially because they really emphasize that he's single, like he's a single dad, and he's kind of struggling in the things that she's doing good in, and yeah, it does seem like I got that vibe in the beginning because that's what's his name? That's Pine, right? That's his last name? Pine.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had a hint of that in the beginning. I was like, oh, this guy's they're gonna fall in love and then get married and happily ever after. Ooh. We'll see.
Or I could totally see them like leaving her single and, you know, thriving with her research and stuff.
Do you think she'll get back to her research?
Oh yeah, I'm surprised they're not talking about that because she seems to have the day free while Matt is at school. So she should be doing it. But I think it's cute how Walter and her bond over their family issues and the teacher issues.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're together all day doing the cooking show, but I feel like their bonding is more over those things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like a nice friendship. Like I like the friendship between her and Harriet also, but it seems like her and the Walter guy have a lot or just a lot to relate about. Like they don't really have that much in common, but they just have a lot of similar situations, and that would like at that time make you feel really isolated because it was such a taboo to, you know, have kids out of wedlock or divorce or all that.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I think it's because he's more understanding and more open because of the whole like divorce, and it's looked down upon during that time. And I mean, I feel like he think he has it a little better than obviously her in their world, but I think that's also something that's a common ground. Harry is just funny.
Yeah. I hope she kicks her husband out.
That her little story, I was like, I don't know, man. Why are you with him? But back to the olden times, I get it.
They
I
don't
get
get
it.
divorced.
Yeah.
You just end up trying to be away as much as possible.
Yeah. Very good. I also keep forgetting that Madeline is what, 4? She sounds like an
Mhm.
adult.
Yeah, it's kind of that's another thing. I just find her kind of annoying because again, I don't know.
Like, I get it, your
I-
parents are smart and you're smart and like super like, know it all and all that, but like what was it? She's talking about slaves and she's like, "Oh yeah, let's teach everyone about this slavery." And I was like, "Oh my God, like a 4-year-old knowing that?" Like, yeah.
I just think they didn't really give her a personality other than just being really smart and
Yeah.
interested in stuff. And that's
Yeah.
why I just mostly find her annoying. I don't find her like very charming because she doesn't like, I don't know. She just doesn't seem to in any way act like a kid. She's just like a sponge for information. And I don't know. I also think maybe she has like, Asperger's or some kind of like social cues impact on her. But yeah, you're right. Like she sounds like she's like 25 and it's weird. I don't like it. I'm prejudiced, I guess. I'm a very prejudiced reader.
Let's see. I think that was it for my comments. What about me?
I wonder if Miss Frask is gonna come back in the story at all. And
Oh,
like,
I was like, who's that?
yeah, because like, was her purpose just to give her those boxes?
Mm.
And then, like, is anything else gonna come out of the boxes? No. And then
They've
is
kind of
she gonna
dropped all
go?
of the research. They haven't talked about it at all. Any of the
Mhm.
research stuff.
Yeah, but she must be doing some.
I mean, what happened to that investor that was all into
Yeah.
like her main topic? Was it Janet's or something?
Oh my gosh, yeah, if he watches her show, he's gonna figure out Izat is her. Or he's gonna think it's like a relative of her.
Is it's the scientist's wife? Because they do
Yeah.
think she's married or was, right? Not was, is married. And then I think Walter was like, "Don't ever say that. Don't say that. Don't mention this. Don't mention that."
Yeah, I wonder if that investor's gonna find her because of the cooking show. And I feel like we have so many questions and only 1/4 of the book left.
Yeah, I feel like it's a tiny section for all that we like.
Cause
I
then
wanna know.
also, did they has she found the paper where Calvin had listed her as like owner of the house? No, right? Or it's like Calvin Evans and Elizabeth Evans.
Doesn't she own the house though? They talked about how like it was a bad investment or something, like when she met with them after he died. I think she owns it.
Oh.
I don't remember that part. Maybe
Oh,
I'll
but
look.
she took a reverse mortgage on the house because she had no
Mm.
money.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
I wonder if you can like stop that, like now that she's making an income, because then eventually the bank is gonna own the house.
Mhm.
Maybe by then she will have money, as long as she doesn't get canceled for being an atheist.
I do like that the women are like, oh, what is acetic acid? And oh, this is this. That's aspirin. I can go get you aspirin. They're like, what? Just call it aspirin. No. And I was like, that's kind of cute. I like that. They should have more of that. We'll see if they do. I think the last section shouldn't be, or it might be longer than the others, maybe a few pages.
It still said I had like 4 hours left in my book.
Yeah, I thought there was still like 4 hours, but I can't remember. But yeah, next section to the end. Ooh, I saw the last word, abiogenesis. That's the word.
Oh.
Julie, did you study that in school?
No.
What is it? Did they ever mention what it was? I already forgot.
Isn't it like DNA? I don't know.
It sounds like it's one of those transition periods of the like replicating and who knows what. Abiogenesis.
I think it has to do with creation or something, like how they were talking about, oh, God had to create everything, and but like life probably just created itself.
That is very Big Bang Theory.
Oh my God, what if she's
Yeah.
gonna create a clone?
It says it's the origin of life. No, in biology, yeah. Or the origin of life is the natural process by which life has arisen from non-living matter. So like,
Yeah, like instead of, oh, God created everything, it's
yeah.
like just spontaneously.
It's interesting how I
arose.
feel like I didn't see this book being very like bringing religion into like this.
It kind of at times seems a little forced.
Yeah, I can see that.
It just feels like I don't know, just sometimes it's just very, very like not subtle. It's just very in your face. It's like the author wanted you to know about these themes and wrote these characters to be the themes.
Yeah.
I think Walter's like my favorite character.
Yeah,
It
same.
just sounds so like grounded and open
Yeah,
and like chill.
like,
Chill.
I just want him to succeed.
Yeah, you want to root for the single dad who's not cooking very well.
Yeah, like everyone hates his boss. He's like, oh no,
Trying to
I
impress him.
guess I do have to like make changes. Instead of just like perpetrating, what the boss was doing.
Damn, I thought I had more notes, but I guess I was just multitasking. I also feel like what's his name? Reverend Wakely. You know how he's all into religion and this and that, but he's lying so much. Not to say that they're not allowed to lie, but I feel like he's like, oh yeah, just lie about that. Oh yeah, just do this. And I feel like if he was talking to a kid, he wouldn't be saying that. And how do we know that he's actually, what's it called? Calvin's age. What if he's the dad? Like what if he was in college, like later on, like as an older adult? I don't know. The dad lied. He was doing religious stuff, even though it wasn't really religious. And now he's over here and he's lying and it's somehow tied with religion, but I don't know. He's the investor. Just kidding. Did you
Yeah,
guys
like
bring the book?
I don't think he has money, but there's more to that whole thing that's probably gonna come out.
We'll see. Um, I don't think this book is going to be a very high rating book. It's going to be an all right book. Like the next chapter, medium rare.
I feel like I haven't had a book that I just like love.
Hmm.
Like, I don't know. Like, what was that book we read that was kind of pedophilic before Paula came? Like the ugly and wonderful things or whatever.
Yeah.
I just couldn't put that
I
down.
know, right? It's
Like,
so weird how like it's so like if you describe it to someone, you're like, I actually really like this book. You're kind of like, what? What are you reading?
yeah.
But I think it
And
was
we've
just
had like a few books where I feel like
yeah.
I just can't wait to read the next section. But this book, I don't know. Maybe some of our books lately, I'm like,
Yeah, I agree.
I think the last book we've read that I was like was probably The Midnight Library.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, I was
I
thinking
love
about
that
that one
one.
too. I did like that one a lot.
I still recommend that one.
that one was
But like
cool. 'Cause-
I think it has a much deeper meaning than you know what.
oh yeah,
Right.
definitely. That just all seems like a dream too. Because you know how you're like
Mm-hmm.
going in between the places and you're like, whoa, whoa.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I really like Gracie too. That one.
Gracie was a good one. That
Yeah.
one was because it was trippy. It had like the suspense, yet it had like the mystery and like
Mhm.
we need something with a little more action.
It's a little Hunger Games action.
No, maybe not like Hunger
No,
Games.
no, no, no. That one to me reminds me of the Hunger Games because it's like,
Oh.
remember what was there was like that one guy who then she falls in love with, and you're like, oh, who is he? Yeah,
Mm.
we'll see. Did you guys bring books to suggest?
Yes.
Yay. Where's my note?
I brought
Let me
mine.
look
Is
on
it
my
okay if
Kindle.
I go first? Because
Yes.
I'm traveling to a coffee shop right now, so I'd rather
Yeah,
talk
go
while I'm
for
in the
it.
car. Okay, so I picked one that was kind of a genre we've never covered.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
So we'll see. It's like kind of a self-help book.
Mm.
Um, and it was recommended by like one of my acquaintances, and I think her first book was pretty popular. This is like her second self-help book. It's called Glow in the Fucking Dark by Tara Schuster. And it has a 4.5 on Goodreads. I'll read the summary. For the past decade, Tara Schuster worked like hell to repair the emotional wounds inflicted during what she refers to as her neglected mess wreck disaster of childhood. She brought radical self-care, healing rituals, and self-love into her life, and on most days she was grateful, happy, and a stable adult. She even wrote a book about it. But then she lost her job, the one on which she had staked her entire adult identity. Cue an out-of-body panic attack, doom spiral, and deep depression that brought her harshest childhood traumas to the surface. Isolated at home during a global pandemic, she experienced piercing loneliness and a lack of purpose like she had never known. Finally, after a particularly dangerous dissociative episode while driving down the highway, she realized that enough was enough. She needed to slow down and pull over to stop the relentless hustling that had gotten her this far and to recover her innermost self. This book is a guide to healing your deepest soul wounds, getting off your good enough plateau, developing habits that will give you lasting courage and resolve, and creating the spectacular life that you actually want. Full of practical, free baby steps we can take today. It's for people who are ready to liberate themselves from their emotional suffering, discover their purpose, and finally sit in the driver's seat of their experience. It's for anyone who is tired, hurting, and feeling like their essential brightness is gone. It's for people who are ready to glow in the fucking dark.
That is
I like
so
that.
cute. I like it. Glow in the fucking dark. Love. Cool. I'll screenshot this book. Oh, from someone who learned the hard way. Cool. Let's see. Mad. Oh, this is pretty. Katie picked Mad Honey by
Ooh.
Jodi Picoult.
Sounds familiar.
The cover is pretty, and I know I shouldn't judge it, but it is really
I think
pretty.
that author writes a lot of books. I think I recognize
I've
the
seen that
author's name.
author. I have one from her. Haven't read it, but it's there. Let's see. Let me go to the thing. Look how pretty this is.
Ooh.
This is like the little flowers in the, I don't know. It's nice. Let's see this thing. It's a riveting novel of suspense and unforgettable love story, and a moving and powerful exploration of secrets we keep and the risks we take in order to become ourselves. Let's see. Olivia McAfee knows what it feels like to start over. Her picture perfect life living in Boston, married to a brilliant cardiothoracic surgeon, raising their beautiful son, Asher, was upended when her husband revealed a darker side. Oh, she never imagined that she would end up back in her sleepy New Hampshire hometown, living in the house she grew up in and taking over her father's beekeeping business. Lily is familiar with do-overs too. When she and her mom relocate to Adams, New Hampshire for her final year of high school, they both hope it will be a fresh start. And for just a short while, these new beginnings are exactly what Olivia and Lily need. Their paths cross when Asher falls for the new girl in school, and Lily can't help but fall for him too. With Ash, she feels happy for the first time, yet at times she wonders if she can trust him completely. Oh, then one day, Olivia receives a phone call. Lily is dead, and Asher is being questioned by the police. Olivia is adamant that her son is innocent, but she would be lying if she didn't acknowledge the flashes of his father's temper in Ash. And as the case against him unfolds, she realizes he's hidden more than he's shared with her. Wow, we just got the whole novel.
Yeah,
That's
that
cool.
summary was a little like too detailed.
Like it gave us everything. I thought it was gonna be short, and I was like, wait a second, what? Well, okay. It's a whodunit. It's a love story whodunit. Is this the story? Oh, I wasn't. Oh, I was like, am I reading the story right now? Because it went into
You've read the first chapter.
No. So that's Mad Honey. But Katie also said that she really, really, really is interested in, where's the book? Tomorrow, and Tomorrow.
Oh yes.
Oh, that's the
That
book
was
I
been
pitched
suggested
twice.
pitched like 3
That
times
has,
now.
yeah,
I pitched it twice already.
yeah. So she's like, I'm really interested in that one too. So I could put it in there.
Hey, I'm down. I still haven't read it yet. It's in my
Yeah,
Audible
mine is
library.
still here somewhere in my bookshelf. So I'm gonna put that one on there as well. Does people talk about
Just
that
keep
one?
pitching books that you really want to read because we'll eventually get to it.
Yeah.
Because I did also vote for that one.
And that glow in the fucking dark is funny. Funny title, but I kind of love it.
Clickbaity title. Imagine like seeing that on Target. You're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get that.
Yeah, so we're gonna have three now. Okay, who else has a book?
Okay, I have one.
Okay. ¿Cuál?
It's called Pachinko.
Sounds familiar. Why?
I'll find it. It's a
It's a TV
series, right, Paula?
series. Yeah, on Apple. They just finished the first season. It was very
Um,
critically acclaimed.
So it's Min Jin Lee is the author. And the description it says in the early 1900s, teenaged Sunja, the adored daughter of a crippled fisherman, falls for a wealthy stranger at the seashore near her home in Korea. He promises her the world, but when she discovers she is pregnant and that her lover is married, she refuses to be bought. Instead, she accepts an offer of marriage from a gentle, sickly minister passing through on his way to Japan. But her decision to abandon her home and to reject her son's powerful father sets off a dramatic saga that will echo down through the generations. Richly told and profoundly moving, Pachinko is a story of love, sacrifice, ambition, and loyalty. From bustling street markets to the halls of Japan's finest universities to the pachinko parlors of the criminal underworld, Lee's complex and passionate characters, strong, stubborn women, devoted sisters and sons, fathers shaken by moral crisis, survive and thrive against the indifferent arc of history. So one of my friends who reads a lot of books posted that she really liked this, and it has pretty good rating on Goodreads. Lots of reviews, so looks good.
and you said it's already a series right now on Apple. Apple.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a bunch of like critics choice type things. I heard it's really good. I was actually planning on watching it sometime soon, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah, when I was like Googling it, it was kind of hard to find the book because it's like all about the
The
series.
series.
So it's Min Jin Lee.
Why is my
It has
screen
a
keep
cool
going black?
cover. Oh, probably because of me, because I don't have my thing on.
Hmm.
My video.
It's like my face keeps going black.
No, you're there.
The
Okay.
cover's cool though. It's like a woman
It's
and then her dress. It shows like look at that. Like a snowy skin.
Yeah, and the people at the like she's running with her, or it looks like it's her with two children. That looks really pretty.
We haven't had a good cover in a while where we like talked about the cover.
Yeah, honestly,
You know, we
yeah,
used
that's
to do that
true.
a lot.
Mm-hmm. I think the last one was oof, the anatomy one, right?
Was it the end? Oh yeah, well we talked
The
about the
dress.
cover. It was so
The dress
pretty.
with the heart.
But it was like, yeah. And that book wasn't that great.
And before that, it was Gracier. That one was with the braid and the blood or whatever. And then
Why
very,
was the first one that I thought of was The Vanishing Half? Because we're like, oh, it's two faces.
I think, yeah, The Vanishing Half was good.
Yeah.
That was a good one. Cool. Cool, cool.
So I Googled must read books of 2023.
And you got?
And let's see, I clicked on one that seemed like it had an interesting cover. It's called Big Swiss by Jen Began.
Big Switch.
And the cover is interesting.
By
And I'll
Jen?
just, huh?
Jen?
Jen Began.
Jen B. Oh,
First thing I noticed was Chi-Chi's. So I'll just read the little description. It says, or should I just read? I'll just read this tiny little snippet. It says, a brilliantly original and funny novel about a sex therapist transcriptionist who falls in love with a client while listening to her session. When they accidentally meet in real life, an explosive affair ensues. And it says, Greta lives with her friend in an ancient Dutch farmhouse in Hudson, New York. The house built in, I don't know why that matters. Greta spends her days transcribing therapy sessions for a sex coach who calls himself Ohm. She becomes infatuated with his newest client, a repressed married woman she affectionately refers to as Big Swiss. Since she's tall, stoic, and originally from Switzerland, Greta is fascinated by Big Swiss's refreshing attitude towards trauma. They both have dark histories, but Big Swiss chooses to remain unattached to her suffering while Greta continues to be tortured by her past. One day, Greta recognizes Big Swiss's voice at the dog park. In a panic, she introduces herself with a fake name, and they quickly become enmeshed. Her attraction to Big Swiss overrides her guilt, and she'll do anything to sustain the relationship. Bold, outlandish, and filled characters, Big Swiss is both a love story and also a deft examination of infidelity, mental health, sexual stereotypes, and more from an amazingly talented, one-of-a-kind voice in contemporary fiction.
darkly comic, said the New Yorker.
Sounds like
I just
we'd
thought
have good
it sounded funny.
discussion. Yeah, we'd have good discussion with that one.
Someone's like, I chugged this book. Pick it up because you like what? Because
Chugged
she
it.
picked it up because she likes cheese? What?
What?
That is
That's
random.
so random.
Big
And she stayed for the brilliant sentences. Okay. That was an interesting review. Who said that?
No, the best review someone's ever written was to put who put The Shining in the freezer. Wasn't there something like that? There was like a review that said like it's so scary. It's like you have to put it in the freezer. Or some shit like that. No?
I don't
I
remember
have
that.
sworn you read a review like that, Judith.
Maybe. That's a good read. It's wild, it's hilarious, and it's so good. The Cosmopolitan said that. Other girls be talking about this book, I guess. Big Swiss. Jen. Begin. Biagin? I was gonna pitch one of our previous books, but I already forgot which one it was, so guess it wasn't. Oh, I was gonna say A Court of Thorns and Roses, but I think Karina had read that one, huh?
I think
I've
Kate
read
Should I
some
check
of
on
the
her?
other ones. I've read the same
Yeah.
author, but a different series. The
Mm.
Crown of something, I forget. I've read 2 of those, but not the Court of Thorns and Roses. But I'm familiar with the author. I think she's
Yeah,
okay.
people
I
are
think she
obsessed
writes.
with those.
Yeah, I think like the other series, like it was good. It's like definitely page turner. I didn't think it was like amazing, but I
Mhm.
thought it was like engaging. Like I've read 2 and I will probably read the 3rd.
Corina has read it. I just checked her Goodreads.
I I would do that a lot. I'm like, Karina has read like every book I ever want to read, so I can't pitch anything if I don't go to her Goodreads. And then she looks at my Goodreads, and then let's say a book that I wanted to read and I haven't read yet, she already read it. And I was like, damn it, I know you saw it on my Goodreads and you're like, oh yeah, that's good. And then she finished it. I was like, I'm too slow. Just reviewing. Yeah, I guess I'll put those up. 5 of them.
Did you pitch one, Judith?
No, I didn't. I didn't think about it. I was too busy trying to pack. And then I was like, should I take a book with me? And I'm like, no, I shouldn't. I'm not gonna read.
You never know.
You
So, like usually at the airport is like a good place.
You can just finish this book.
Yeah, that's why. I
Yeah.
was like, why would I try and take another book when I should just finish this one?
Mm. But you got to take an extra for when you finish this one. I did that when I was in Seattle. What book were we reading during that time?
You were in
I
When
Seattle.
can't
was
even
this?
remember. This was when did I go? I don't. Never mind. I don't even remember.
Was it one day in December?
No, I didn't even
Where
read
the
that one.
coffee
I have
gets
still
cold?
haven't finished it.
Oh no, you
No,
didn't read that one either. Wuthering Heights.
no, definitely was not Wuthering Heights.
Every summer after? I don't know when you went to Seattle.
Was it every summer after? It might have been because I binge read it because it was so good, and then I took an extra book. And tell me why it's like I would read one page of that other book and it's like put it down. Like, no, I'd rather watch TV.
I know. So I gotta find
Always
this
happens.
spark.
I've been trying to finish the Prince Harry memoir. Like that's my side book.
Uh-huh.
And I am having such a hard time finishing it because I don't like it. Like it started off pretty interesting, pretty good, and then it just got worse and worse and worse. And now I'm like, I have 1 hour left in the audiobook, and I'm like, I haven't finished it because it's not good.
Mhm.
I expected a lot more, but it's not very good.
It's super long. See, no?
It's pretty long, yeah.
Yeah, I
And
think I saw
he
that.
narrates it, which like is appealing, but then I don't know. It's not. I, I don't know. I don't know if I like him after reading it. Like some of it's really well written, but then just there's all these other parts that are just like boring or kind of I don't know. The best part was the beginning when he was talking about his childhood. I thought that was the best. And then it was like a whole giant thing about his military career, which didn't love that. And then now it's all about like Meghan Markle.
Mm.
And yeah, I'm struggling to finish it.
The moment it started to become about her, you're like, ugh.
So we'll have those 5 books. Um, I'll post it up and then I'll put the winner up too. I also been slacking. I guess I haven't been very creative with my Instagram for the
Why? Who
books.
said?
Huh?
Why?
No,
Who
just
said?
because I don't know, I haven't posted anything. I keep forgetting to post the readings for.
But you put it on
But
that
that's
little
why.
message.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
I
know,
saw
because
that.
I was
That was
like,
kind
I
of
don't have a
that was
picture,
kind of
man.
hard to find
I
though.
saw the message.
I know, but I want a picture of the book.
Wait, did you post it today though? Because I
I
didn't see
posted it
it until
yesterday.
today. You
No,
said,
I posted it yesterday.
oh, oh,
I don't know how those notes thing work, but I'm like, hey, that works. Because then you just see it there, you're like, oh, hey guys.
yeah.
Oh yeah, what do you guys think about the June thing?
I think I'm down. Let's see, March, April, May, June.
I
put it in
realized
my
that I was on
calendar.
call that week, but then I think it's my on call's been moved, so I think I can go now.
Mm,
Oh cool.
I put it in my calendar, so it's those days are marked.
the
So,
24?
is that what we said?
Mhm. Something like that.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was like,
June.
well, I marked the 20th. Yeah, starting the Friday, so
Yeah.
it's like 4th and 5th. That
Yeah,
weekend.
because we were talking about slow, so I don't know if we still want to do that.
Okay.
What if we did like, I don't know, Santa Monica, Malibu? I don't know, the beach.
Yeah, that'd be closer. It'd just be farther for you northern people.
Yeah,
Uh-uh.
I'm all down. I'm all
Yeah.
down for LA.
I
could
don't
take
mind
an
LA either.
But I'm down for slow too. I haven't been to slow and like since Julie lived there, so
Let's
it would
get
be
one of
nice
those
to go there.
beach houses.
Or we can do Santa Barbara.
Yeah, or
Yeah,
like
that's also
Solvang.
good.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's a
All the-
little closer.
Okay.
I'd like a place. I'd like to. I envision us sitting at a nice bar with some like cocktails. No,
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
down.
and
down.
like going
down for
dancing
sure.
or something. Like I don't know, something fun. I've never gone on an all
Oh,
girls
yeah.
group. Like
That's true.
go to the spa. I've never been to the spa. I've never gotten a massage.
Oh my god. Need to change that. As long as you're okay with
Yeah.
strangers touching you, it's the best.
Oh yeah, I love being touched.
By strangers?
Anybody. It's like someone rubs up on you and you're like, ooh, hello.
Oh my
I love
gosh.
it. I love massage. But there's this one at the mall near my house. It's like an Asian, like a Chinese one,
Mhm.
but you actually leave your clothes on. Which is
Oh,
so
like a Thai massage.
I was like, no, Julie, we want to take our clothes off.
But like
I
sometimes
get one
you
every
do,
month.
and sometimes you don't. You're just like, I want something quick. Yeah, it's just like in a big open room. But I think it's Chinese. I don't know.
If it's Thai, they make you like you're fully clothed, but you wear these special shorts and you're mostly on the ground and they're like stretching you and pressing down on you. And it's kind of painful, but it's some people
Thai
really like it.
massages hurt though, don't they?
Yeah, it
those
does.
hurt.
It does.
And they like walk on
Unless
your
you're like,
back.
you like it. Some people like it.
Mm-mm.
Some people like
If I do it, I
Stretched
got one in
pouted.
Thailand and the guy literally bruised me. So I didn't love that version, but
Ooh.
sometimes you can just tell
Yeah.
them to go like not too hard and they won't kill you.
Yeah, I did that one with Alvaro, and he did not like it. But we were
He was
naked,
like, give me
I
the
think.
Swedish.
Yeah.
Swedish is the relaxing one where they're just like kneading your muscles.
Yeah, but I want it like a little hard, like so that it actually,
It doesn't feel like a waste of money.
relaxes it. Yeah, yeah.
It's not just like, okay, you're done.
Oh my god, I hate that. When I ask Luis to scratch my back, that's what he does. He just goes, okay, yeah.
You're like, no, right here. No,
Yeah.
I'm okay with any of those places. LA sounds fun. SB, I've been so many times, but
Hey,
it's all right.
there's a bunch of new places popped up in the last like month.
I also don't hate it, so I'm okay with that too. Let's see.
Okay, we can
I
just
vote
start
Central
looking.
Coast, like somewhere
Me
in Santa
too.
Barbara or like San Luis Obispo.
Just 'cause
Just
it's
because it'd be like a
closer.
trip. It would be closer for me in LA, but it would be fun to get out of town. So.
Yeah, that's
What's in Pismo? Is there anything in Pismo? No, huh?
The beach.
There's a couple things. I mean, I don't know. I mean, like along the, what do they call it? beach
Boardwalk.
boardwalk. There is like a restaurant that has drinks. There's a pretty good breakfast restaurant that we
So all
went
we're
to,
gonna do is
remember?
eat.
That
Yes.
place was really
Clam
good.
Not too
chowder.
far
that
from
was
the
Avila, I
wineries,
think,
right?
actually.
What was that
That's
one
the
breakfast
winery.
place we all went? Corina was there. I was there. It was like a buffet.
Ventana Grill
That was
with the
bottomless.
unlimited mimosa.
Yes.
The Ventana Grill has bottomless mimosas.
Oh, yeah, and it's like a seafood brunch. But is that just on Sunday or?
That's what I think it was like a Sunday.
I've been to that restaurant once, and I thought it was pretty good. It was really pretty.
Yeah. Yeah, I did that brunch a few times. It's gorgeous.
Hmm.
Because were we thinking like get a big Airbnb for everyone?
Yeah,
Or
I like that
or
idea.
just
Probably.
yeah, 'cause I don't know.
Probably
Do you
be
guys
better.
know anyone who's there still?
Our little
I
cousin.
only knew you, Julie.
Okay.
No, all the people I knew are gone.
They've died.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
No, we have parted ways. Yeah, our little cousin is there. She's like
I don't know where she
barely
lives.
21.
Yes, she's only 21.
Barely. We could do Pismo? Slow?
Maybe we can just search for a good Airbnb or hotel.
I know. We could just like send them within the group or something, like on the
Yeah, we could do that.
Instagram thread.
Yes.
What if we all pick one? Like pick one of your favorites, just so that like not one person is doing it.
Yeah,
It's like a
everyone-
place that you'd
Location or
like,
everyone
and then
keeps
we
that
can
in
all
mind.
vote.
Oh, okay.
like basically either like slow or that like or Santa Barbara too.
Yeah,
And
like
Pismo
since
and
like I
Solvang.
suggested Santa Barbara, so like I'll find one in Santa Barbara and pitch it.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Then
because
we
if it's like
vote.
a really cool Airbnb,
Yeah,
might be
it's
worth
definitely gonna
it.
be somewhere with like a pool, maybe.
Ooh.
I mean, do you need a pool? I mean, yeah, because the beach is kind of like I don't know, the water is like. Hmm.
Ooh. I just went on Airbnb and I just pressed on the thing that says amazing views. They're all pretty. LA with the pools. Just kidding. That's too expensive for one night.
Are we only doing one night?
No, it's because it just shows you per
Oh.
night.
Oh, see,
So I
see,
was
see.
like, that's for one night. Y'all are insane.
So we're thinking like the Friday through Sunday, or just like Saturday, Sunday.
I'm open for any of that.
Okay.
If it's slow, I'd probably have to come up Friday, but if it's LA, I could do Saturday, Sunday.
You are all the way to San Diego. Down there. I don't know why it's not
Katie.
closer. Yeah, it's all the.
I mean, slow is halfway.
That's true. I guess slow does just fit.
Julie, you could like take the train and then I could pick you up and then we could drive rest of the way if you want.
That train takes forever.
I know. Or you pick me up. Or we drive separate.
Just pick you up.
I'm looking at the Airbnbs. There's a nice place in Ventura. I'm just kidding. Like I'm not leaving.
Hard pass.
But if
There's
it's like a
nothing to
really
do here.
cool, if
There's
it's like a
nothing
really
there.
cool Airbnb, that'd be cool.
There's a Rosarito in Mexico. Let's go.
I'm not going.
That
Too
like
far.
Ojai Valley Inn has nice massages, but very pricey.
Yeah, Ojai's pretty chill. There's like a resort.
I
don't
think
think
they
I've
have a
ever been there.
winery. Yeah, yeah, the resort.
How many are
It's
we?
super pricey.
6.
Seven?
We're just missing Karina and Katie, right?
6.
Seven.
8. Oh, 7. 2, 4, 5. Oh yeah.
I think 7.
Yeah.
I always do this math when I'm counting who voted. I'm like, oh, we're missing someone. It's always 7. I still send it to Rico just in case. He never votes. He's like, nah.
I literally think it was me. I was the curse because I joined and then he never did another book. It's me. I cursed him.
I think it was those
No.
like sexual books we picked. And he was like, nah.
He's
Wasn't
also
he,
really
like,
busy
Maybe
right now, so
Verity
it's
freaked
probably
him out.
It was Verity, for sure.
Yeah. Colleen Hoover. In her crazy mind.
Jesus, there's a vacation home in Santa Barbara for $10,000 a night.
That's what I'm saying. It says per
Oh my
night, and
God.
that's like per night? How many rooms do you have?
Jesus.
50? The hotel.
Maybe if Kim K is
This
renting it.
8
I don't know
bedroom.
anyone else who can afford it. All right, guys, I better go. But
Okay.
I will talk to you guys next week. Have a good week.
Yes. Have a
Okay.
good night. I should go get packing. Because I'm not done.
Wait, I wanted to see your nails. You didn't even. You're like,
Oh,
I'm
no,
gonna
I
get my
just
nails done. And we
read.
got no photos.
What?
You
Cute.
got them
Oh, I
done?
didn't go.
No.
Mm-mm.
Mm.
I know. I should stop recording this.